What's up? What's up? This is your boy Heat Detector, and this is the check-in. I know it's been a hot minute, but I am here, and I need to, as I go through some of the normal things that I do, before I get started, I want to start with a disclaimer. First, let's just say that this show is not here to disrespect anyone or hurt anybody or anything of that nature. Anything that has to do with hurting or disrespectful things. This is not the show. What we're here to do and would like to do is to help people with issues they may have in their growth, in their finding themselves, or in their journey of healing, because it can be tough. It can be a very harsh road, and it's difficult to navigate those things. So as I said, we're not here to offend anyone. We're here to help. And if you are offended, that is not the intent. The intent is, again, to help. You gotta excuse me while I go through these things. Just the privacy settings on Facebook. Unfortunately, I won't get any chats unless I do all of this. All right. Now I'm here. All right, cool. So as I said, the point of this is to help people, not judge or anything like that. Although there is a level of accountability, there will always be that. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes journey, even there's a lot of healing. And shout out D-Nick. He said, yo, that's the fire disclaimer you ever did. Bless. I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, there will be some accountability, so that you may hear some things, but there won't be kickback or anything like that. We'll just be open for discussion about whatever it is you may have said or whatever you feel like you need to be held accountable for. We all need to be held accountable, myself included. This is why we have the disclaimer. Thank you anyways. Not thank you, but thanks for joining. If you're watching, this is the check-in. I am Heat Detector. Today we're going to talk about self-love, loving yourself. Real quick, I wanted to do this today because I haven't done one in a minute, been preoccupied with a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things, and I haven't even myself taken the time out for myself, if that makes any damn sense. And it happens in life, and you get to ripping and running and running and ripping. And I thought about that today, and I was like, self-love, because self-love is more than just a mental thing. I think you gotta love your body. You gotta treat your body right, mentally, physically. And I've been feeling really run down and tired because I wasn't taking care of myself. I'm more concerned about other things when I needed to be concerned about myself. And sometimes I think when we go through things and we're dealing with a lot of stuff, we put our own feelings to the side, our own emotions to the side, our health, even our mental health, our physical health to the side, doing and helping others when we should be doing and taking care of ourselves. And I just thought, that's a great thing to talk about, because today was a day where I thought, I really need to take care of myself. I really need to, hold on, he said, D-Nick, I'm a super of that. Growth needs to be acknowledged. Salute, yeah. And shout out to Ace Ace Vito in the chats as well. She says salute, my brother. Like salute. But yeah, I realized that I needed to take a minute. And one of the nights I didn't do the show, I really needed to just sit my ass down and low key revel in the silence and the solitude, and just give myself some space to breathe and really let my mind at ease. And that's a tough thing to do sometimes when there's 1,000 things going on. You literally got to do like a mind breath, like a of the mind, and just let it go. You know, just let those thoughts go, and just, I don't know, just the best thing that I could think of is just like really chill, just almost like a meditation, you know, just release all of that shit, release all of that stress. And in doing all of that, other things happening, and then having people say things to me about some stuff, and I realized that, man, I didn't know how to take a fucking compliment. I didn't know. Every time somebody give me a compliment, I recognize that in the back of my mind, I thought that they were slighting me some kind of way, like really like not meaning it, and really like in my mind thinking, this motherfucker don't mean that shit, or why are they saying this to me? What do they want from me? And that's like I cut it out. That's like I don't want to say safety mechanism, but it is like, it's like you go into this place like a shield, and you kind of shield yourself from that, you know, because how could it be true? If I'm not loving myself like that, how could any of this stuff be true? And man, I had to take a step back and really look at the shit and really take it all in. You know what I'm saying? Take it all in, because I put in a lot of work. I do a lot of stuff, and I do it out of the genuine thoughts and genuine wanting to help people, and you know what I'm saying? The genuineness of it. And then when I get the response back, like, oh man, that was dope, I really appreciate you, this and that. Yeah, he's farts cause global warming. That's funny. He said you gotta check yourself every few years and adjust. Yeah, big facts. Ace Vito said, yeah, that goes with it. But yeah, being able to take that in and giving myself some grace on that alone was hard. And I didn't realize it would be that harsh, that like, damn, like I'm really over here thinking that these kind words they're giving me, that they're slighting me. Why do I feel like that? Why do I feel, you know what I mean? Because I'm really not, hold on, D-Nick says, pies, check-in. That's what I got to do tomorrow and then the whole week. Practice pies, check-ins for yourself. Yeah, for real. Hey, D-Nick, put in the chats, if you will, what that acronym is for people, just in case they don't know what it is, so they'll know what it is. Just even that, having those moments and everything, it really sat me down. It really sat me down and had me thinking about how much I love myself. And I realized, man, damn, I was really, and I still am really struggling with loving myself, loving who I am as a person, loving who I am becoming every day, and not letting any other thing shadow that, or, you know, just not letting anything shadow that, because, you know, I realize I'm my own light. you know, and I gotta let, you know, it sounds corny, but like I gotta let my light shine, but I do. And it's not cocky, it's not none of that. I'm humble with shit, and I feel humbled every day. I mean, I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'm here, I'm in the present, you know, and I'm humbled by that alone. Uh, but it's tough, you know, and we want to give our love to people, and sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes people don't deserve your love. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. I can't pour into somebody if they don't pour into me. That may sound selfish, but I gotta love me. I can't just be pouring myself into somebody that doesn't pour back or that doesn't acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? And what part of me allows someone to not respect me as a human being, not respect my words, not respect my opinion, you know, or even hear it for that matter. Nah, can't do that. I refuse to be stifled anymore in my own thoughts, man. And it's important, man. You don't acknowledge how great of a person you are, DJ Ace Vito. See that even right there when he said that, I'm like, who the fuck is he talking to? And maybe he's talking to me, or maybe he's not. And part of my brain goes, man, he's full of shit. But I appreciate it, bro. If you are talking to me, yeah, it's hard to acknowledge sometimes. It really is. Um, yeah, he said, well said. Farts cause global warming. But so I just wanted to get on here today and talk about that, you know, loving yourself and what that means. You know, maybe it means something different to everybody, but I know what it means to me. I'm finding out what it means to me. Shit, I'm just finding out what it is to even love myself. I thought I was fooled in my own arrogant thinking that I did love myself. And the fact of the matter is I did a lot of shit and because I didn't love myself. And how could I love somebody if I didn't even fucking love myself? Shit is crazy. But, you know, we live to fight another day. And I have to love who I am. I was talking to someone the other day, and I got so emotional. I started crying, and it was like, I said, man, I'm sorry about it, you know. God damn it. And I was like, no, just be you. Just be you. And that hit me, too. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, I'm an emotional person. I'm sensitive to a lot of things. And things affect me. People affect me, you know, emotionally. Their presence physically, it affects me in all types of different ways. And if some of that is, you know, I get emotional about shit, it's not because I'm crying because I'm sad. Some of that shit is like I'm so happy, I don't even know what else to do because I don't know how to do anything else. I'm so used to keeping things in, stuffing all that shit. And like I say, a lot of times my outer didn't match my inner, you know? And it's tough. And it's sometimes and that sounds crazy. Like how tough could it be to take an acknowledgement? How tough could it be to accept someone's love for you? How tough could it be to take a compliment? Let me tell you, that shit can be tough as fuck. If you don't love yourself. Please check your physical, your intellectual, your emotional, and your spiritual. When you check in, ask yourself, how do you feel in each category? Yeah. And that's pretty much what I did. There were some things I loved and there were some things I didn't. And the things that I didn't love upset me and pissed me off even more because it's just like, how the fuck I didn't figure that out? Why in the fuck was I sitting in that? How in the fuck could I have sat in that all these years? It's a tough pill to swallow. Even right now, like I'm thinking about it, it's just because it hurts. It hurts, and it hurts especially when you know that somebody's hurting you, or you're hurting someone, and you don't. That's not your intention. Like for me, I mean, it's a lot. This whole journey I've been on is a lot. By far the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. But I love where I'm going. I love where I'm at. I love the reactions, the encounters with people and meeting new people and being my genuine self. I fucking love it. And I wouldn't change any of it. Someone asked me the other day, we were talking about would I change something in my life, in my past, or if you had to do it all over again, would you do everything the same? And I was like, I wouldn't change anything. As much as it hurt and as much and as bad or whatever in the fuck it was, I wouldn't change anything because I changed one tiny little thing. It's like the butterfly effect. I change one thing, I might not be breathing right now. If I change one little tiny thing, I may not, I don't know. I don't want to go with that uncertainty. I like where I'm at right now. And I had to go through all of that. I had to go through all of that to be here. To be right fucking here. And until I'm called, I ain't changing shit. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna keep loving myself. I'm gonna keep loving others. I'm gonna genuinely treat people how I want to be treated. I'm gonna take in the compliments. I'm gonna love myself. God damn it, that's it. I understand something. I understand that I'm a good person, and I don't need anybody to tell me that. It's good to hear. But finally, I'm seeing me for me. And it's a lot, you know? I don't know. He says, heat don't draw. What for? You're doing so much. You want so much help. That's where you're at. Yeah. I'm cool with it. I just get emotional about shit because, when I get happy and shit, he said when abuse is your mom, when abuse is your norm, love feels like abuse because it's correcting system. Yeah. Love feels like abuse. You mean tormented by that shit. Legitimately tormented. And that shit brings up a lot of other dumbass shit. And a lot of other things happen because the person could be doing dumbass shit because of not understanding any of that. Man, it's a cold, cold world. And I don't know, sometimes it feels even colder when you do have these awakenings or you do have these things. It feels a little colder sometimes because I don't know. I feel like the more I love myself, the more people are gone, but they're all like at the same time. They're being people. There are people that are now not in my life, but there are so many new beautiful people that are now in my life. it's like spring. It's like a spring cleaning for the mind, spring cleaning for the soul. And a lot of these people, some of these people are old friends that I had lost contact with, or what didn't have much contact with, and now I see them all the fucking time. Or new people that I've met and now have made genuine bonds with and fostered great relationships because of the place that I'm in now. And these relationships, they feel genuine. They feel like love. Like, goddamn. Who would have thunk it? Not me. And I thought, what a great thing to talk about today. Because a lot of this that I do on the check-in is very therapeutic for me too. It's not just for other people, but, maybe someone hearing my struggles and what I'm going through and what I'm feeling and the pain and the trauma and shit, that it becomes relatable and they understand it, because it's hard. It's extremely difficult. And every step made moving forward, a lot of times you feel kicked in your chest and you feel kicked back 10 steps. But the key to it is to get back up and keep going. Having faith in yourself. Showing yourself some grace. And really understanding what it is you desire, what it is you want from yourself. From yourself. And then once you start to do that, I think it becomes easier to take in other things, and also to recognize other things as well. Ace Vito, you said you still got 5 Indian burns coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll take them. Indian burns don't scare me. I remember them as growing up. They used to be the shit. Grab somebody's arm and give them an Indian burn. But part of all of the growth, though, is learning to love yourself. Because if you're truly on that journey, that's one of the parts that you won't be able to avoid. It's a street you're gonna have to go down, no matter what. If you're really truly, if you're genuine about what the journey is, if your journey is to get to be better, to feel better, to act better, treat people better, do better, period, in all aspects. That's a road you cannot avoid. And it's a road that's going to hit you smack dead in your fucking face, especially the moment you try to avoid it. Trust me. I know what getting smacked in the face feels like. Not in the proverbial sense, but not in the physical sense, in the proverbial sense. And that smack hurts and stings more than the physical, especially when you become aware of shit. Yeah. And that's like one of the reasons why when I do this show, I don't ever think about what it's going to be about until I'm in that goddamn moment. And today, literally, the studio was full of people. Shout out to the KRA and Ange 13. And my boys were down here. They were finally doing meetings for their show. And I was sitting in here looking. And I was on a radio show earlier, and I was talking to these guys before the show and the radio show. And I was looking around and just thinking how much I loved all of this that's going on. I love it. I love it. I'm living in it. I'm swimming in it. And I thought, like, damn, maybe even a couple of weeks ago or maybe a month ago, I don't know. I may have been sitting here. I could have been sitting here and not really taking in that these people genuinely love me and like me. Because I hated so much more about myself. I hadn't really gone down that road like I thought I did. I may have went down it, but I probably made a U-turn and went back and was like, oh, I'll come back to this shit later. This is too much. So, yeah, so I was sitting here and I was taking it all in and smiling and looking at everybody in here doing their thing, and I was getting some compliments about stuff here and there, and I was like, God damn. This is crazy. But this is beautiful. It's like these people they actually love me, man. I didn't have that thought of they're trying to get something from me, or how could they love me? What the fuck? I just looked around and thought, God damn. These motherfuckers actually love me. Boy, you need to start loving yourself. Give yourself some grace, man. It's going to be all right. Now, as I was sitting there, I was really doing my best to keep the tears in, because that was a moment. That was a fucking moment. And in that moment, I said, man, I had to talk about this. So I'm looking around and I could only think about how I was processing all this shit around me. It wasn't shit. I don't mean shit, but just processing all these things around me. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't like, boom, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, God, I love everybody. And I was processing that shit. And there was still little voices in my head saying things. But I took it all in, man. Processed it, took it all in, thought to myself, tonight, when everybody's gone, and because I give myself time at night now and just kind of decompress, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I am. I'm going to love myself tonight. I really am. When I decompress tonight, everybody's sleeping, I'm going to love the fuck out of myself. Yeah. And with that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with something. And I say this like all the time after each show when I do the check-in. I'm going to say it again. Give yourself some grace. Breathe. And give yourself some grace, yeah. Take a minute every night before you go to sleep, before everybody goes to sleep, or even if you the motherfucker that goes to sleep before everybody else. Give yourself a minute. Give yourself a minute. And just breathe. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself some grace. And love yourself. Love who you are. Love yourself. With that being said, this has been a check-in. Peace.